Good day, everybody. It's technically afternoon when I am taping this, but obviously I don't know when you'll be watching it. Welcome to Yin. I'm going to do a 60-minute Yin practice for you. I'm going to be using a few props today. I have 2 blocks and a strap, as I know not everyone has props at home. Maybe just using a couple pillows, they might help. Anything harder might be a little uncomfortable, but obviously it is up to you what you use. I did pull a bolster, but again, that's a prop that I do have in my home studio that you might not have available. So you could also think about using a folded up towel, a big blanket, all rolled into a roll. These are just props with the Yin practice. We move very slowly. We're going to hold everything for 3 to 5 minutes on average. The point on Yin is to get into the fascia, really allow the muscles to relax, to find some length. I am going to be using a timer as well, just to ensure we keep everything even between the sides. And then we're just going to go ahead and start. So we're going to start this afternoon with lying on our backs in our typical Shavasana. Always my encouragement to start a practice that way, just so we can take a little bit of time to bring ourselves into the space, into your practice, more importantly, into your body. So I'm in a standard Shavasana, but it is always up to you what is more relaxing or comfortable within your body. If you are coming down into that standard Shavasana, just allowing your legs to release wherever's comfortable. Some people really like their legs nice and wide, other people do not prefer that. So it is just a comfort level within yourself. The arms are away from the body with at least some space between your torso and the arms. Palms are up, helps to release the shoulders. If you are lying on your back, think about gently walking your shoulders underneath your chest. As soon as you walk them in a little bit, you should feel a little more space within the chest, a little more openness. And then when you readjust there, it might feel better to walk your hands farther away. Just allowing the shoulders to have even more space for release. Tilting down slightly through the chin, we tend to really arc up through the neck, but the neck is part of the spine, so we want to keep everything in line. And closing your eyes. Bringing your breath through the nostrils entirely, so we're going to be breathing in and out through the nostrils. Just taking the moment to find that breath. We believe that breath comes naturally, but most people do not utilize their breath. We only usually use a little portion of the lungs. We want to see if we can surpass the lungs and move right into the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic breath naturally calms you and relaxes you. And then as we start to breathe, we call it Ujjayi breath in yoga, in and out through those nostrils. See if you can deepen and lengthen the breath, starting with the inhale, making it longer than usual. And then when you move into the exhales, use the exhales as a release. Feeling yourself let go. The exhale can be used to let go of anything that is not within our grasp at this moment in time. The tensions, the negativity we tend to hold on to routinely are the things that we have no control over. And there are definitely things that you cannot control at this moment in time. This moment in time you have set aside for you. When we focus on the breath, it just allows the mind to only focus on the breath. It allows some clarity, some release. Very normal for the thoughts to come back, for the stories to begin. When you notice that happening, not thinking about it happening, just come back to breathing. practice some movement or bring some movement back to the body. Most likely it's just wiggling the fingers, the toes, moving your chin from right to left. Very small, very subtle movements. And as those movements become a little more exaggerated and you're making circles in the wrists and the ankles, think about taking the circles in opposite directions than what you naturally want to do. A little bit of a mind challenge at the same time. And then we're just going to find a full body stretch here. So slowly bringing your feet together at the end of the mat, pointing the toes. Think about engaging. Think about pushing out through the feet, pushing down through the backs of your legs. Most likely feeling your belly come up a little bit, just that engagement as we reach through the toes. Then adding the upper body at the same time as we reach overhead. Imaginary string is pulling the fingertips and the toes in opposite directions. Things are lifting off of the mat. And let that breath go on a sigh. Inhales, lengthen and fill. One more. And then just very slowly bringing your knees in towards your armpits. Take the knees nice and wide. The arms can stay overhead if that feels okay in your shoulders. If it does not feel okay, you're just going to take your hands comfortably at your side. I am going to guide you through a practice, but your best guide is your body. We're never looking for pain. You might feel some tension as you discover those tight areas, but not pain. No sharp shooting pain. Just feeling the spine here. See if you can bring awareness to if your shoulders moved off the mat and if your lower back really rounded. Once we bring the knees in, the lower back tends to lift off the mat, the glutes tend to engage. See if you can let that go. If it feels good, you're always welcome to add a little bit of weight to this just by gently draping the hands on top of the shins. You can pull down if you feel you have more space available in the hips and the lower back. Always respecting the knees though, never putting any pressure on those knees. If this is too much, but you still want to go a little deeper, maybe taking your hands behind your thighs. Just giving you options. Again, your body, your practice. And then we're just gently going to let that go. We're going to come through a spinal twist. We're going to take the feet onto the mat. We're going to gently take our arms nice and wide. We're going to take the palms down. And we're just going to allow both of our knees to drop over towards the right as our gaze goes over the left shoulder. And then slowly coming back through to center and just allowing the knees to go in the opposite direction. So the knees are going to drop down to the left and your gaze is going to go over your right shoulder. And then we're slowly going to come back, just windshield washing. Just taking that windshield wash at any moment in time to bring yourself back to a neutral. As soon as we start moving, a lot of times we pick up tension in the lower back. We always want to come to a neutral before we proceed. And then we are going to go into our first yin posture, meaning the one where we're going to hold it. And this afternoon, that posture is going to be a supported bridge. So I do have blocks to use. But again, if you did not have blocks available to you, you can just use any type of cushion, rolled up blanket, folded up device. As this is our first posture and it's a spine posture, we're going to use something low though. We're not looking for a lot of height yet. So we're going to walk our feet in closer to the bum, always keeping your knees about hip distance apart. Round through those heels, round yourself up just enough to drop either your block or your prop underneath your spine. If you are using a block or something harder, just make sure that you're quite comfortable. Ideally, for most people, you're going to have that support underneath your sacrum. The sacrum is a big flat bone at the base of your spine. And then we are going to take our hands away from the body to start. Palms up right where we began. Walking your shoulder blades underneath your chest, tilt down through your chin, and just see how that feels. If you settle here and you're quite comfortable, you are not feeling any pinching, any crunching, any negative sensations through the body, you're welcome to play with extending out through your legs. Opening up that way just adds a lot of space to the front of the body, and then gravity takes over. So we open through the chest, we open through the hips. If you have come here and you already know that you have a lot more space, meaning you are not really feeling anything, you're more than welcome to walk your heels closer into your body to come back where we began, lifting up through the hips and maybe choosing to stack yourself a little bit higher. Respecting your body, however. Arms come back, test to see how you're feeling. And if you're feeling good and you want to play with opening, you're more than welcome to do so. Again, in yin, we stay here for a while, so we're looking to most likely work your way deeper and deeper, just by breathing and listening to the body as it releases. See if you can just close the eyes here and bring yourself back to the beginning of practice when we were just laying flat and we were breathing. If at any point in time, wherever you have come is a bit too much for you, you are going to readjust. If you come into something and as you breathe, you feel that you have more space, you actually feel the openness. As we stay in anything in those lengths of time, you're always welcome to take yourself deeper. Feeling the breath surpass the lungs. We're always looking for that diaphragmatic breath. Most people struggle to find it just because we do not typically breathe that deeply. Wherever you are here, you should be able to feel both of your shoulder blades on the mat. So maybe bringing your awareness there to feel the expansion with breath. The ribs naturally expand from right to left, so when we're touching down this way, you should be able to feel some sensation of right to left movement through the shoulder blades. Just going to use the timer to check where we are. A little bit less than a minute here. Just see if you can breathe, staying with breath. And wherever you are, just slowly start to bring a bit of movement back. Maybe it's fingers, maybe it's walking the feet in. Again, I always encourage you to listen to your body. I will give guides, but sometimes that's not what your body needs. Once you do have your feet back in, if they were extended, you're grounding through the heels, lifting up just slightly off whatever height you're on, and moving your prop. And then just allowing your spine to come down very slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Maybe your hands come to your hips just to ensure you're not dropping down. So we've opened up through the spine. We've most likely found a bit of tension through the lower back. So just allowing yourself to drop, to release. No movement yet. Just feel that release through that section of the body. And when you're ready, maybe walking your feet about mat distance apart and allowing the knees to drop in closer. Reverse corpse, hands can come at the side. See if you can really play with your breath, bringing it even deeper and deeper into the body. Noticing the connection of your spine to the mat. That connection, that awareness can help us deepen our breath. And then we'll slowly just take the knees a bit wider, walking the feet in and gently bringing your knees in close to your belly, grabbing onto your shins. If that's not comfortable, you're welcome to take your knees nice and wide. Again, your body, your practice. Rounding up. Think about drawing your forehead to your knees and then letting it go. Use your breath, just one more, inhaling up and releasing. And then we are going to use the wall for this practice, which I think I forgot to mention at the beginning. So you're going to just bring yourself up. You're going to take your props with you, and you're going to gracefully bring yourself closer to the wall if that's your choice. You're going to bring either your right hip or your left hip close to the wall, and you're just going to swing yourself around and back up. Once you do come up, you'll probably have to readjust a little bit. The closer you bring your bottom towards the wall, the more intense the 90 degrees becomes. If it's too much for you, you can always walk your bottom away from the wall. So we're just going to start here in our legs up a wall, just allowing the blood to drain to enjoy the sensations. Hands are always welcome to go wherever feels good to you. Taking your arms overhead, fully stretched, we'll bring a shoulder stretch. Might become a little too intense. If you want to stretch your shoulders and that's too much for you, you can bring your hands into cactus arms. It releases a lot of pressure. When we get into the shoulders, they're a very tricky area, lots of nerve endings there. So some people get tingly very quickly. If that's the case for you, just bringing some movement back to let go of that tension you found, and then coming back to something that works within your practice. So once again, just being aware of the breath. The spine is entirely on the mat now, so you can actually feel your breath move through the body. You should feel the expansion from right to left. You might feel your lower back lift off of the mat as your breath moves and down farther into the body. If wherever you've chosen to come with your arms, with the shoulders is a little too much, you're going to readjust. If wherever you've chosen to bring your bottom in relation to the wall is a little too much, and you're feeling any tension through the lower back, that pinching, not tightness, pinching pain, maybe choosing to prop yourself up with a blanket, with a block, anything that just lifts your bottom up from the floor. If you're using a block, it would go back underneath your sacrum. You would drop yourself down. Blocks really aren't great when you're against the wall, but you might be able to find a comfort. A pillow would be wonderful, or a folded blanket, especially anyone with sciatica issues. It takes a lot of pressure off of that 90-degree angle. Pretty easy stretch here for most people. Just making sure the mind is not wandering and the stories haven't begun by bringing yourself deeper and deeper into breath. Long inhales, followed by long exhales. Not much longer here, just a few more very deep breaths. Hands can always go on the belly too. Sometimes it really helps to deepen the breath that way. The awareness of the swelling and the release. And then we're slowly just going to bring our awareness back. So from here, really, it's just moving in any way that feels natural, wiggling the toes, moving the legs. Maybe it's walking your head from right to left. We are going to make our way into a thread the needle from here. So if you're familiar with it on the floor, on the mat, it is the same. What the wall does is gives you an awareness of where you are in terms of keeping the weight down the center of the body. So when we start with both feet still up, we can take our hands to our hips and feel that both hips are evenly down. Now you're going to take your right leg away from the wall and just drape it over your left. So your right ankle is pushing into your thigh at this point. Your left leg might bend a little just to support the knee joint. Find the activation in the right leg first. So you're firmly pushing the ankle in. The toes are coming to the knee. That helps protect the knee joint. And the knee, all on its own, by activating through the leg, is going to slightly go away from your body. So take that time to notice that. Then if you're here and you're feeling a stretch, that's wonderful, so you stay here. If you're here and you're really not feeling anything, meaning you have more space available to you in your hips, you're going to play with slowly walking your left foot down the wall. Once the leg comes down the wall, you're coming into your figure four. Again, hands on your hips to notice. That right hip wants to come away from the floor. We want to draw it down, and you want to think about drawing your tailbone down the entire time. Sounds silly, but a lot of times we also pick up tension in the shoulders, even though we're not using the shoulders. Think about the shoulder blades staying down your back the entire time, as if you were trying to shine your heart up and back towards your nose. Hands again can go wherever's comfortable. If you come down into this too deep and it's too much for you, you're going to make your way out to any degree that feels better. We do stay in these postures for long. So we don't want to come to the very end of our edge at the very beginning and going into a posture, because most likely we can't stay. Think about a scale of 1 to 10 as we make our way into deeper openings, especially most people sit all day and they are very tight through these muscles. So if this is very tight for you, starting your way really straight, and then as we stay and breathe, you will most likely start to feel a bit of a release. And then you're going to slowly play with drawing that foot down, and it might only move a millimeter at a time. Breathing. The right leg stays active the entire time and the right hip must stay on the mat. We always want our weight to stay down the center of the body. If you want to stretch the shoulders again, when we're on our backs, that's always available. Hands can go up. Again, they can be goalpost arms if that feels better. Taking your arms up might help you find some release in the shoulders. The shoulders like to pick up tension in the body whenever we're tight. Your shoulders cannot help us open through the hips. We really need to think about letting go of any tension we try to drop up there. You may be able to feel your belly touch your right thigh. Maybe it's a big compression, maybe it's small, but if you can feel that compression, it's a wonderful gauge for your breath. On the inhale, if you can feel it, you're going to feel the belly touch the thigh. And on the exhale, you should feel the release as the belly moves away from the thigh. And if your belly and thigh are really close and you're not feeling anything, you need to deepen your breath. Your breath is what will allow you to come deeper into the openings. Noticing where your body wants to let go. The right foot wants to stop doing the work, the right leg wants to disengage. Awareness. More than a minute here, just a few more deep breaths, maybe about 10. And we're slowly going to make our way out of this side. So if you've bent the left leg, you're going to slowly extend it. And then you're going to gently take the right leg away. Very normal to feel tingly, numb even. Bring some movement back. And then again, I'm going to encourage you to do anything that feels good in your body. Walk the legs. Maybe it's bringing your knees in. Maybe it's gently rocking from right to left. There is never right or wrong. Listen to your body. We're just looking for release and a nice neutral spine. If we have tension, we have to let that go before we move to the other side. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your legs back and we're going to come into a wide-legged opening before the other side. So it's kind of like a standing wide-legged forward fold. Your legs can come as far apart as feels good to you. I'm going to encourage you to activate your legs while coming into it, meaning drawing down through your toes and pushing up through your heels. All that does is helps to engage through the hamstrings and the inner thighs. Once you find your comfort or you're where you feel pretty good, you're going to let that go. We don't want the tension there. We just want to come into things with a nice flat spine. If wherever you've gone is too much for you, again, you can draw your feet up and slowly allowing them to work down as you make your way farther, if you make your way farther. Props are really nice in this one too. If you have blocks or even pillows, you can somehow prop them up on the outside. It's very difficult even with blocks to do. It might work if you're on carpet, however. My preference is to take my blocks up behind my shins, but that is just a preference. All that does is tilts my tailbone slightly, my pelvic region, and releases some of the tension I'm feeling.
You can use that with your pillows if you grabbed your throw pillows from your sofa. And then again, the hands can always come up overhead, which really does give you a nice shoulder stretch, but if you're too tight there, it's not going to feel good. So just taking a few breaths and then finding the release and knowing how long we're here, that you can move about as feels good within your body. See if you can close your eyes wherever you've gone, just to really just feel breath and take your mind away from any discomfort you may be feeling. On that scale of 1 to 10 in any yoga or any yin yoga practice or posture, we only want to be at about a 6. We want to be able to easily breathe through whatever tightness we're feeling. So we want to find the tightness. We want to stay there, breathe till we no longer feel the tightness. For some people it might be quick and you're already deciding to open your legs wider and wider, but every body is different. Halfway there. For a lot of people, you're going to really feel this on the outside of your thighs and some people on the inside. Always depends on how tight we are, but the most common person sits all day. We have desk jobs, we hunch, which causes a lot of tension, tightness, shrinking of the muscles. They shorten. Everything shortens when we round. We're slowly going to bring ourselves out of this one. So if you have blocks, you're going to release them. If you have your pillows, you're going to let them go. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. And again, do anything that feels good in your body. We're going to do one more pose here with the wall. Let's just finish off our thread the needle. So when you are ready, your feet are going to come back up. This time you're going to do the opposite leg, which will be your left leg. You're going to start by taking it over. Left ankle into right thigh. Activate that left leg and then decide where you're going. There's nothing wrong with staying right here, maybe even taking your left hand and pushing it into your thigh. No weight in the knee joint. Respect that joint. If you're pushing, you're always using the belly of the thigh. Even when we're stretching, when you're feeling any type of openness, any type of sensation in a stretch, we're looking for that sensation to be in the belly of that muscle. Always respecting our joints. We should never feel any pulling or tension within those tendons or any other part of anything that keeps it together. The stretch is always for the belly, or the belly of the muscle. And if you're ever feeling tension, pulling, any sensations where it does not feel normal and it is painful, get out. Find your way of coming in a better way. The hands can go onto the hips again, just to decide or make sure you've come into this properly. And all I mean by properly is you haven't allowed the left hip to come way off of the mat, or maybe even the right hip to lift away from the mat in order to come into this more comfortably. The benefits of the opening come from the body, the weight being down the center of the body, which means we're evenly resting. Hands again can always go over the head if that's your preference, especially if you're very tight in the shoulders. It might feel very nice to take a few breaths and then release there. We tend to hold a lot of tension in those shoulders. We are going to do some shoulder work in a minute when we come out of the wall. Taking that assessment, especially if this has become very easy and you're not really feeling anything anymore. Remember, we're always looking for about a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. You want to be able to feel some type of tension. You want to be able to easily breathe into that tension. Looking for the release, which will allow you to come deeper. Maybe just noticing if your left leg has released. The body is naturally extremely lazy. It likes to conserve energy, so it stops working. Hands are free and you want to bring them to your belly, to your chest. Nice way to help you increase the breath, to lengthen the breath, to utilize the breath. Once you notice that you're not feeling anything under those hands, the choice is to deepen, to lengthen. A little bit longer here. And we're slowly going to make our way up to the side. So we're not moving very quickly. Very normal to feel tingling, maybe even numb through the left leg. Once you do release, just moving in any way that feels good. And then we are going to bring ourselves away from the wall. I jokingly say bring yourself away gracefully, because it's pretty awkward getting away from the wall. So just choosing to come over onto your right side or your left side, whatever feels natural, feels easier for you to come through. And then we are going to bring ourselves over, and we're going to come into a child's pose. So we're going to choose to make the child's pose a nice wide-legged child's pose. So your big toes are going to touch, your knees are going to come about mat distance apart, farther or closer together if that is not for you. And then as you gently allow yourself to drop down, You want to have your forehead comfortably on the mat. So we want to release all the tension we may have found in our lower backs against the wall. So you have blocks. If you wish to prop your forehead on, it might feel really nice. It's going to add a bit of a shoulder opener. I believe you have pillows. It's just about you finding any way of coming into this in a comfortable place. If you're already comfortable where you are, that is a perfect child's pose. If, however, you're feeling tension within this, you need to move in a way that releases. So this is an inactive child's pose. We are just hanging here, but gravity is going to take over. Gravity is naturally going to draw your chest closer to the mat. Gravity is naturally going to draw your tailbone closer to your heels. Maybe gently rocking from right to left here if your forehead is comfortably on a surface. Think about massaging through those eyebrows. We tend to hold some tension there. We tend to furrow our brows. See if you can release it. We will not stay here for the full 5 minutes, but just a little bit longer. A few more deep breaths here. Feel that breath move through the body. And then we're gently going to bring ourselves up and out of that. So we're going to bring our knees closer together. And we're going to take ourselves down onto our bellies. We're going to come into a shoulder stretch from here. So we're going to take our forehead onto the mat. We're going to take both of our arms out, palms down to start. You're going to lift your head off the mat and you're just going to have a look at your right arm. You want to make sure your right arm is perfect 90-degree angle from your shoulder socket. So the arm is not coming up, the arm is not coming down. We want the arm straight out from your shoulder socket. Then you're taking your left hand and you're bringing your weight over onto this side of your body, onto the right side of your body. What you do with your left leg is completely up to you. Some people are going to drop their leg down and make a little tent. If that's too much for you, the leg can be straight. Maybe you can come over even further. We tend to be very tight through the shoulders. You're going to listen to your body. And again, scale of 1 to 10, about a 6. If you have a lot of space and you're here and you're still not feeling anything, you can also take your left hand up, over in any way that feels good. You can just take it to your lower back. You can walk it back to the mat. Always options. Just think about that 6 though. 6 is tension, but easily being able to breathe in that tension. Once we come a little too deep into anything, we stop breathing. The body becomes very tense. If we can't breathe, you're never going to find the openness. We do not stay as long as the other postures. Shoulders are very intense and very tight. Lots of nerve endings, very normal for people to feel tingling. Just a little bit longer. Breathing into that tension, that tightness. And then wherever you are, we're slowly going to bring yourself back to center. So you're going to do this in any way that feels natural, but it's going to be very smooth, no jerky movements. Bringing yourself back down to your belly. You're going to drop your right arm underneath your forehead and your left hand on top. You're going to release your forehead onto this. That will give you a nice neutral spine. If you found a lot of tension in your lower back, wiggling your hips from right to left might help you release. It might feel nice to bring your knees up or bring your feet up, bend at the knees, and gently windshield wash through those lower legs. It might feel nice just to stay neutral. You're going to listen to your body. We're going to have to move into the other side, so we want to make sure we did not find any tension along the way, especially in that lower back. You will probably not release that tension as we go into the stretch, so we want to make sure we have no tension as we make our way. And then when you are ready, you're going to extend the arms back out. Take your head up. Look at your left fingertips. It is directly out from your arm. Walk your right arm in and flip yourself onto the other side. Right away, probably realizing this side is completely different than the other side. Very normal. Again, you can think about TPing. You can straighten the bottom leg if that feels better. You can take your right arm over in any way that feels nice. Your practice, your body. 1 to 10, you're only at a 6. After you're here for a little bit, you will most likely find some type of release. You will just feel some tension ebbing away. It is your choice at that point to possibly move deeper. And always recognizing the body generally only opens up 1 millimeter at a time. So it's not a substantial move. You might not even notice that you're getting opener and opener or finding more space. But just practicing regularly and breathing will allow you to find more space. A little bit longer, breathing through the tension you've no doubt found. Shoulders are very tight. And then gently releasing that side, and again coming back through center, stacking your hands, releasing the spine, which means dropping the forehead down, spine is in, or neck is in line with the spine, and then just moving in any way that comes natural. And again, you can bend at the knees if that is your preference. Once you bend or anything, you just get a longer lever and it adds a bit of weight to the stretch or the movement. We are going to do one more with the shoulders here. So we're going to now extend out again through the arms.
This time your right arm is going to bend at about 90 degrees. Have a look how your elbow is now in line with that shoulder, and then think about drawing it up a bit, about 45 degrees from the shoulder. And again, dropping yourself over. This will feel completely different. We're getting into a different part of the shoulder. Bottom leg, or sorry, top leg can go wherever feels good. Might be completely different than the other, and this might feel a lot more intense than the other. Breathe through whatever you're feeling. Make sure you can breathe through what you're feeling. Breath is always the key to yoga, to postures, asanas. Put 10 more really deep breaths here. See if you can stay. Always remember you can move in a way that makes this more bearable, and always do respect the body. This might be extremely tight, but it should not be sending out sharp shooting pain. And then just bringing ourselves slowly out of this side one more time, stacking, releasing, it's just about bringing the spine back through neutral. I tend to find a lot of tension. And then just one more side here. So this time extending out through the arms one last time, bending 90 degrees in that left arm. Have a gander at your elbow. Then draw it up about 45 degrees from the elbow to the arm socket, from the shoulder. When you're ready, dropping yourself over and back. And always respecting those shoulders. They are so very tight for almost all of us. Are you breathing? And then we'll slowly make our way out of this side. So for the last time, we're just going to come through center again, moving gently and slowly, respecting the spine. Gently dropping down, moving in the hips if it feels good, windshield washer in the feet if that feels good. Staying neutral if that feels better. And then we're going to do one more here from the belly. We're going to come up into our Sphinx. So for Sphinx pose, you're going to bring your elbows in underneath your shoulders. Have a look down. Think about your legs going about mat distance apart or straight out from the hips. Tops of your feet are down, but there's no tension in the lower part of your body. So you're not pushing down through the feet, you're not pushing down through the hips or the groin. If you're already feeling any type of sensation, that compression in the lower back, you're perfect. If you have more space, you can play with walking your elbows closer to the body. It's going to ask you to move more. You can also play with taking your gaze up a little bit more, but dropping through the shoulders. If you are extremely tight, you're going to bring your elbows even farther away and bring yourself down more. We are only looking for tightness, tension through the lower back. That sharp shooting pain is not what we're looking for. And people with desk jobs, especially who commute, people who sit all day long, will find this posture extremely difficult. See if you can just breathe into the tightness you're feeling. And once you start to feel yourself settle, which no matter where you are, eventually you will, just take time, take stock of the body. The shoulders will have wanted to ground. Think about dropping them down and opening even more. Your eyes can be open or closed, but maybe play with taking the gaze up, just to feel the sensations that evokes through your body. Take stock of your lower body. Most likely it will have started to engage. The glutes like to engage. See if you can release them. Breathing wherever you are, long breaths. Now, no matter where you are, you should be able to feel the belly into the mat. So really think about pushing the belly into the mat with nothing more than breath. And then you're welcome to stay here, or maybe coming in even deeper, maybe taking your elbow or your hands a little bit wider, pushing down through the hands and bringing yourself up. This causes even more compression. You must have the space to do this. It is just an option. If you have come up or moved in any way, drop down through the shoulders, open the chest. Make sure there's no tension going on in the lower body. The body likes to do things to make things easier. Breathing wherever you are, and if you have come up and it's too much for you, you're just going to bring yourself back down into something that works for you. Always remember and respect your body. There's really not much point in pushing yourself past number 6. The body just tenses. Just a couple more breaths. And wherever you are, slowly bringing yourself down. One more time, hands stack. Forehead releases. Maybe moving a little more exaggerated through the lower body. And then we are going to make our way over onto our backs. We're going to come into a spinal twist. So as you make your way over into any side, bringing yourself back onto your back. Maybe choosing to use a bolster here or your pillows. I'm going to use my bolster. I'm going to start with my bolster on my right side, or you could just stack your pillows. You're just looking for some support through the knees. You're going to take your hands straight out from the shoulders, again, palms down. This time we're going to bring our knees to about 90 degrees, and we're going to gently allow our knees to drop down onto any props we are using, or the floor. Even if you have props, you might not prefer this. You might prefer allowing your knees to come down deeper. Gaze goes away from the body. Just a few breaths. Maybe even visualizing a breath bubble here. When we come into spinal twist, think about the breath moving through this bubble, and the bubble only moves into your spine. So it starts at the tailbone and it moves all the way up to the base of your skull.
then slowly coming back through to center, bringing your feet back. If you did use a prop, you're going to very slowly and gently just bring it up and over your body, but really I encourage small movements, especially in yin where we've been pretty static and we've opened up through the fascia. So not moving in any jerky way, bringing your prop to the opposite side, taking the arms back out, drawing in through those knees again. And when you're ready, just allowing both of your knees to drop down to the opposite side and the gaze goes away from the knees. Bringing yourself back to that breath bubble, just that visualization of the bubble moving through the spine, and it only stays on the spine, it does not surpass that length. And then we are slowly going to come back through center. Gently windshield washing or moving in any way that brings you back to a neutral, a release. And then the last posture I'm going to give you will be a supported goddess. You can try it with any props you have. Supported goddess, if you have the actual yoga props, is both of your blocks in a T. So your top block is at about the highest height. Your next block is at the next height. Your bolster then goes on top of the blocks. If you're using pillows, you're just stacking pillows together to make some type of incline. You don't even need an incline in all honesty. It's just about finding a way to lift your spine off of the mat to allow the shoulders to open. If you are fully propped like I am, or you have any type of pillow situation, you're coming back to it. With the bolster, you're going to line the bolster up with about where your pants meet, right at your waist, and you're going to allow yourself to come back. On any type of prop situation, it is about drawing your shoulders down. It is just giving us space to open up a little more through the chest in an area where we usually cannot find that space. This should be very comfortable, very supportive. Hands just come beside the body away. They can come close, they can come wide, whatever feels good. The legs can come into any posture that is your preference. There's butterfly, maybe it's just bending, or maybe it is Shavasana legs. Your practice, your body. Wherever you are, I'm going to encourage you to close your eyes and see if you can bring your awareness to the shoulders and the chest. No matter what is propped underneath you, think about opening through that front body as you inhale. And on the exhale, think about drawing your shoulder blades down and away, as if you could actually wrap your shoulder blades around whatever is underneath you. Full belly breaths, deep inhale, followed by long exhales. You are welcome to stay here for as long as feels good within your body, maybe finishing your practice here. If you are ready, you're going to slowly roll yourself up into a comfortable seat. And by comfortable, I mean anything that feels good within your practice, your body. Just going to spin myself forward to face you for the last few breaths. And again, wherever you are, remembering it is your practice and it is a beautiful place to be. I do encourage you to take a moment to thank your body. It is always my encouragement at the end of any practice. There are a lot of people in the world who are actually physically incapable of practicing. So take a moment to thank your body just for carrying you through the day. And then that extra time to thank it for allowing you to practice.
I thank you for practicing with me today. And I encourage you to take any feelings of grounding, of peacefulness, any positive feelings that you've garnered today from your practice, take them with you into your practice, or off of your mat, into your day, into your lives. And namaste. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day, everybody.